is Mike, and what I'm doing is ASMR gameplay video. And if you don't recognize it already, this game is called No Man's Sky. If you haven't heard of it, you've been living in a cave, because this game is huge at the moment. And I kind of bought it on a whim. I wasn't really sure that I would enjoy it. I'm an RPG fan, which means that a lot of the games that I play, I like, I'm a completionist. So I don't mind spending hundreds of hours in a game, but there is apparently a report that this game would take, if a player spent 1 second on each planet. Now keep in mind, each planet can be thousands of in-game miles in diameter, and obviously in circumference, which is what we'd be looking at. But it can be, so keep that in mind. So if you landed on each planet for a second, it would take at least 5 billion years to see every planet. So that's obviously not going to happen. So that was kind of intimidating. And I think the one redeeming factor that led me to actually play this was the exploration and the survival aspect. I've played a lot of survival games: Rust, 7 Days to Die, H1Z1. Well, there's others in there. Some rogue games, Don't Starve, things of that nature. So I get a kick out of them. They can be frustrating. But the reason that I chose this game to do ASMR with is because it's very calming. There is some combat, but the combat is initiated by yourself. It's not so much battling hordes of enemies or anything of that nature. In fact, it's far from that. As you can see here, you're meant to discover things, landmarks, creatures, planets, systems, and as you do so, you can name them. So my gamer tag is Guns Requiem, so pretty much everything is some variation thereof. I'll usually just take whatever the name was. So if this was, Iridane Valley, I think it was called something of that nature, I just replaced the Iridane with Guns Requiem. So not the most creative thing in the world, although I do have a little bit of fun with the creatures. This freaky looking thing looked like a cross between a bulldog, a lizard, and something else. So I just called it a leap lizard because it didn't really walk. It just kind of, like, its back legs would fly up into the air and its front legs would try to keep up. So it looked like it was leaping along. So that's how I got that. Again, not the most creative thing in the world, but it does the trick. So anyway, let's get some tingles going here. So I'm hoping when this video posts, the sound is not very loud in the actual game. If it is, that's something I'll need to adjust. Actually, why don't I go ahead and do that now, just in case. You can always turn up the sound on the YouTube video, but not so much. Reduce it. Okay. That should be good. I'm happy with that. Maybe a little bit more, just to be on the safe side. Nope, that's going to bother me. There we go. Okay. So again, this game is pretty relaxing. It does get a little stressful when you when something starts to go wrong. So if your ship or if your suit starts to lose power against the environment, if your health goes down, your life support, bad things can happen. You can die, although there are quite a few save points. I think anytime you do something major, ooh, that looks interesting. Anytime you do something major, geez, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit more too. I'd hate for that engine sound to kind of kick you out of your groove. So yeah, anytime you do something major, anytime you run across a waypoint that you can save, can I mine this? Alright, check this out. We built a camera. So it seems that anytime the game registers you as being inside something, your toxicity level goes down. And I don't think all the planets are toxic, although some are. And this one is. This one has a lot of rain, acid rain. So anyway, this is not the starting laser. I've actually played about 2 or 3 hours into it so far. And I managed to run into the species and learn enough words that I could actually understand some of what they were saying, and make some educated guesses as to what I needed to do. And I was able to get this this multi-tool, which is actually pretty neat. It's got a couple of upgrades to the mining laser. It has a bolt caster, so that's like a projectile weapon, as it says. And I managed to take out one of the sentinels with that, and he dropped some things. And yeah, there's just a couple modifications to the laser and the weapon. Other than that, I haven't really done too much. I did get my ship up and running, as you've seen. That was pretty exciting, taking off for the first time. I got a kick out of that. This stuff is called Emerald, like Emerald Lagasse. Is that what we're doing here? Damn. Yeah, I don't really understand how this toxicity stuff works, but I just go with the flow. Another thing you gotta look out for is that it's pretty much anything that you do runs out of resource or lowers some kind of meter. So you can see in the top right, my mining laser is losing, I guess you could call it durability. Power. This power is better word for it. So basically, I don't even know what I'm going to do with all this crap. I have no idea what I want to do with this. There's so much of it. I think I'm good on that. So you'll, pretty much any points of interest, you can use this little scanner. Little scanner area around you. You can find little treasures. And there's points of interest. Like I'll go to that one. It tells you too how far away it is. So if I was in my ship, that would probably only say a few seconds. But since I'm walking, it says a minute 42. So I'll hop in my ship and we'll go over there. Oh boy. So another neat thing you can do in this game is transfer things instantly to your ship. Although my ship inventory is pretty full too. So let's see what we got here. Oh, I got a deck. I have not seen that before. Oh, 20,000 units. Wow. That's something I'm going to want to sell for sure. I did a little while earlier. I did happen across a trade point. It was like this little kiosk. that let me sell things, but ooh, I gotta do my quest real quick. I'm gonna die out here. Life support, that's pretty important. There we go. Anyway, so found a kiosk earlier, and you also get units, which is the term for currency in the game. You get units from naming things. So you explore, you discover things. You're the first to discover them, and you get units for naming them, which is pretty innovative and cool. Because you're pretty much guaranteed to always have steady income. The other thing to keep in mind is that you may never run into another player. Again, there's that 5 billion planets theory going around, or 5 billion years to see all the planets, so you might never run into anybody. So there is space combat, supposedly. I've yet to get there. But you may not actually ever face another player. So you'll have to stick to to NPCs and get your kicks out of that, I guess. Let's see if we can find anything interesting. So I kind of just cruise around, especially because, you know, this is an ASMR video, a whisper video, so I just kind of cruise around and see if we find anything interesting. It is one of those games that survival is your key primary factor. If your life support starts to go down, as you saw that it did earlier, if something attacks you, time to get out of dodge and take care of yourself first. So, right now I would like to find 2 more of the monuments, or 2 more key areas. And I also need to discover, apparently there's 9 more creatures, 6 to 9 more creatures that I need to discover. Which I did see some birds at one point. What do we have here? So I did see some birds at one point, but they kind of were too far for me to get to. So I was reading something. I was curious to see how big the planets were. And something I was reading said that planets can be upwards of a few tens of thousand miles, Indian miles. So if you do the math, say it takes me, 10 minutes to travel 100 miles in my spaceship. You gotta think that's hundreds of minutes to get around the planet. So you could be talking multiple hours. So you're in for the long haul, that's for sure. Well, that did a whole lot of nothing. Now these guys here, I try not to screw with them too often, but they do drop some good stuff. So I'm going to pull out my bolt caster. We're going to waste that guy real quick.
Warning, Sentinel drone activated.
And of course my inventory's full. Let's see, can I drop this? Yes, R3. Goodbye. I got a neutrino module. I wonder if I'll be safe in here. Oh, crap. Oh, God, it'll take me a year to get through this. There's no way. I've got company. Oh, boy. This is not good. Yeah, maybe combat is not the best way to go about ASMR, but I'll get out of this jam and we'll leave this infamous land. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, use that guy. Another thing I was reading said that you may never know what your character looks like. If you do see other players, you may not necessarily know that it's another player either. It could be a just an alien life form, or you may mistake a player for an alien life form. You know, they'll have suits and they'll look like a race, but what kind of race is the question. So I think that's pretty interesting too. So even out of the millions of possibilities of meeting another player, you may walk right by each other. You never know. Okay, so the pissed off sentinels are gone. Let's see if I can salvage some goodies. So you do start to, after you've played the game for a while, you do start to see how the procedural generation works. Not to say that it ruins the experience, but there are some things that you can kind of pick up on. Some of the creatures, how they're oriented, how their limbs are attached, things like that. You can kind of see the seams, I guess you would call it. See the zipper of the monster and see how it's put together, but again, it doesn't necessarily ruin the experience. What are you saying to me, lady? Oh, I don't have it. You guys need to go away. I'm being good. Okay, so I'm assuming I can't get into this facility. So let's see if there's any creatures around. Again, I still need to feel them. So see if we can find something aside from the leaf lizards. That's their call. Maybe I should go to another planet now. I kind of don't want to leave this one because I have developed a bit of the language, but I'm also not sure if I go to another planet, if maybe it's the same race, alien race, so we'll give it a shot. It can't hurt. I can always come back if need be, but this planet's kind of drab. A lot of green, very toxic looking. That's about it. And you can see it is toxic to me, so maybe that's why it's green. It's an indicator of that. I really want to get that door. Maybe at some point I'll get landings on my ship. I can start blasting things apart. Razamara? Okay. Call Starship. I would like to do that. Let's see if I can make it. I do need a slot to be able to make things, I know that much. Okay, you need to relax, lady. I got it. It's gonna be okay. Okay, well now we're just gonna do that. Let's see, can I charge? What's in there? Nope. Oh, launch thrusters not looking at me to do. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's a good idea. Goodbye. Okay, now let's see what we can craft here. Aha! Some bigger than wood. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, you, sir, need to go. You need to go. Yep, I'm just standing here minding my own business. What is this? starship. These guys are getting pissed, but I don't see a starship. Okay, there goes something. Huh. Guys, come on. Picture will last longer. Take it and leave. Maybe it's just my mind getting together, but that looks extremely hilarious to me. And it's doing absolutely nothing. Oh, so here's some of those birds that I saw. Yeah, I see way too far. What if I try this? Use my jetpack. Oh, I just get myself killed. Oh, boy. I'm not really sure why I spent money on this, or spent resources on this. It does nothing. That kind of sucks. That super sucks. Okay. I'll try it a couple more times. It's fun to do that. Yeah, dude. Okay, I'm leaving, guys. I'm leaving. Let's see if there's any upgrades I can do to my ships here. Blast these guys out of the sky before I leave. Let's see. Weapon. No weapon. There we go. Photon cannon. Yes, please. I would like to activate that. Okay. So I guess we're not going to activate that. Doesn't like me. Okay, I guess I have to unlock it. So, on that note, let's get out of here. See if we can find another planet. So, I'm not sure what that green thing is on my visor there. I'm assuming, or my heads-up display there. I'm assuming that's another planet. So, let's set a course for it. Aha. There we go. What's this guy? Yes, use my pulse signal. Cool. That is awesome. That is cool. Oh, it's a space station. That is cool. Just a few seconds to go. Oh yeah. That's cool. Alright, here we go. Ooh, I'm gonna hit that planet fast. Yes. Planetary interference. Oh boy. Am I heading straight down? Yes, I am. Okay. Oh my god, this planet's even worse than the last one. What the hell is all that orange? Is that water? How is this? Water and not lava. Okay, let's land. What's this over here? Is that another ship? Or is that just ground? That's ground. Okay, so this is water? Yeah, I would say that's water. Okay, why not? Let's take a peek. Whoa. What the hell? Teletubbies? They're freaking Teletubbies. With mackerel faces. What? There's a baby one. Yeah, I'd be running too if I were you, man. Okay, are you friendly? You look friendly. You look rhinoceros fish faces. Talk to me. Is it sentient? Zandratu... Wait. Zandratu Orestad. Okay, buddy. Well, guess what? Now this is happening. Don't worry. You're not going to be named that for long. Your new name is going to be... Rhinocerfish. No. Rhinocer, ouch. No. That's so lame. What are you? You are... Like, it looks like he's wearing a suit. Like an animatronic suit or something. And he's really boogieing. Let's see. Rhino Tubby. There we go. Rhino Tubby. If anyone ever finds this plant,